And the work could go on, and in fact is due to go on until the end of November. And there are concerns that when it's finished, it'll be bad news for people on bikes. Let's have a quick chat with Richard Bearman from the Norwich Cycling Campaign about this. Morning, Richard.
Good morning, Chris, and good morning, everybody. I hope you can hear me okay.
We've got you loud and clear. What are your concerns about this then? Because the work will eventually see a couple of the sets of traffic lights actually taken off at the Grapes Hill roundabout, which should make things run more smoothly. That's the idea. What's it going to mean for cyclists, though?
Well, if you come down Convent Road at the moment on a bike, you've got not only the traffic lights, which help you get onto and across the roundabout, you've also got the advanced stop line for cyclists. And one thing we're very concerned at the campaign is putting in schemes that are allegedly improving things for cyclists and actually taking out existing cycling infrastructure. The intention is to make the footpath on the side of Convent Road shared use with pedestrians and cyclists. Now, I know, and other people tell me, it's a very busy place for both people walking and people using bikes to get to the crossing of Chapelfield Road. But nobody likes shared use paths. We think they should be stopped building new shared use paths and actually convert all the others to segregated cycle lanes. The roundabout itself is not heavily used by cyclists, I guess, but this will make it a complete no-go zone because big roundabouts, multi-lane roundabouts, are really challenging to cross by bike. And while they are widening the segregated crossing across Chapelfield Road, the change to shared use path on Convent Road and a link to Earlham Road we think is completely substandard and in fact doesn't even meet the basic government guidelines anymore.
One of the reasons given for taking out the lights is that it will stop buses from being held up so much. So you must be pleased in terms of public transport, that if our public transport infrastructure is able to run more smoothly, that might actually keep more cars off the road.
Yes, but if you remember 2 or 3 years ago, they converted Chapelfield North to two-way for buses to make them run more smoothly and put in the uphill bus lane coming up Grapes Hill. That was supposed to solve the problem of buses. So why are buses being held up now, and why will taking the lights out on the roundabout make it easier just for buses? It's actually a scheme designed to help car flow along the ring road. And the problem with that, it flies in the face of current government policy and current government thinking on promoting sustainable transport for walking and cycling. If you continue to make it easier to get around the city by car, and I'm not saying there's places where people don't need cars, taxi drivers, disabled drivers, other people need access, but you don't need to change a scheme that's working tolerably well at the moment and make it easier for car drivers at the expense of more vulnerable road users. Another point about shared use paths, we've had a lot of correspondence with the partially sighted groups, and also if people are disabled. Nobody likes shared use paths. They should not be building them.
But there was a survey about this plan, and most people said they were in favour of it, removing the traffic lights from the roundabout.
Yeah, you have to look at the detail of that survey. How many users of the Vauxhall Centre, for example, did they ask who access this on foot or by bike? People came from all over the county and said, yeah, let's take the lights out, we don't like it. But you've got to look carefully at the users of the roundabout and try and get people to use vehicles less. Surely it's sunk in now, finally, with most of the population, that creating more pollution and carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is not doing the climate any good. Even if we switch to electric cars, we've still got to generate all that electricity, and it still won't help the congestion in Norwich. You heard the taxi drivers there. Congestion in Norwich is a fact of life. I think Norwich has been congested since the Middle Ages, but it was congested with horse and cars before it was congested with motor cars.
Richard Bearman, thanks very much for joining us this morning from the Norwich Cycling Campaign.